What's good, everybody? It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream, giving you that spiritual voltage that you signed up for. I'm gonna let YouTube send them notifications out. I got a real pivotal broadcast for y'all. The spiritual warfare is real, man. We're gonna talk about battling your personal demons today. And we're gonna talk about how Satan really works. How he really works. We're gonna clear up all the disnomers and misunderstandings and misconceptions out there. So hit the like button on your way in. I see everybody rolling in. What's going on with you, BD Jack in the building? Yo, what's up? What's up? King Martin's in the house. I see y'all. I see y'all. Peace and blessings to everybody joining. What's going on? All in is in the building. Yo, yo. Look. In this particular broadcast, you're going to grow a greater understanding on how demons operate, how Satan operates. You're going to get a greater understanding on how to overcome the sins and vices that have been plaguing some of you all. You know, some of you all are not even able to speak about some of the trespasses and some of the sins and vices that you deal with. And I say trespasses because you're trespassing against the Most High. Some of you all, you're doing things that are self-destructive. And you feel like you're in a hole where it's hard to breathe. And Satan has somehow insulated a lot of you brothers and sisters where you can't confess, you have no one to speak to, you have no one you can go to seek any counsel, because that's how he wants it in this society. He wants you to hide your sins, and he wants you to be able to dwell in those sins until it destroys you. And some of you all are going down the wrong path. I mean, we're living in a world where a lot of people are going to eternal damnation. The Bible says that hell have enlarged herself to fit the disembodied spirits and souls of those who decided they didn't want to take the narrow path. And so only a remnant is going to make it. And I believe that some of you brothers and sisters watching, you have what it takes. We have what it takes. Because everything I say to y'all, I'm saying it to myself as well. We have what it takes to be a part of that remnant, but you must know what type of war you're fighting. You must be able to crawl out of that hole. You must be able to evolve, right? So, with that being said, you're going to learn how Satan really operates. The war is real. Demons have waged an eternal war on us, and I'm talking about human beings, people. They're jealous of the Most High's creation. They hate us. They want to destroy the vessels that they inhabit. They feel like to make you suffer and hurt, put you in anguish and constant sin through a series of practices that demons do to get you ready, ample, and primed for infestation. See, for some of you all, it starts with denial. Denying the fact that you may have an issue. They like you to reason with yourself when you're doing wrong. The Bible tells us that there's a way that seems right within a man's heart, but his ways lead to death. That's right. There's a way that may seem right within y'all's hearts, but it leads to death. And you know something? A lot of the times, the ways that lead to death seem logical. They seem logical. It seems like it makes sense. Let me give you an example, and this is for a lot of you fellas out there. A lot of you fellas out there are dealing with the spirit of whoredom, whoremongering. This can go for the ladies too. Now, let me explain something to you. Why that seems like the logical thing to do in this day and age we live in. Let me break it down to you. You're living in a society where the dating pool is tragic. It seems like, you know, a lot of modern women have developed entitlement issues and they're all about the bag. And a lot of you fellas will sit there and reason with yourselves and say, you know what, instead of having family, instead of, you know, raising offspring and having women that are, you know, wives and things of that nature, a lot of you brothers will reason with yourselves and say, you know what, these women outnumber us brothers 20-1. We might as well just go out here and just do what we do. A lot of women, most modern women, they down to just play around anyway, right? You see how that sounds right? That sounds logical, doesn't it, fellas? Tell the truth. What I just said sounds logical because a lot of you brothers have thought what I'm saying. It seems logical that you would just go play around with these women because why? It seems that they don't want to be wives anyway. It seems that they want flings and they want to have fun, right? But guess what? You're held to a higher standard. You'll reason with yourself, and it sounds right, but guess what? You'll fall into whoredom, whoremongering. Now you're dealing with women who can possibly have men. Now some jealous baby daddy after you. Now, you know, some woman that you thought you was gonna smash and dash, now she's setting you up for the kill. Now you didn't just put yourself in harm's way, right? That's what Satan wanted. Because logically, it made sense to you to go out there and just deal how you deal, right? You fellas know I'm not telling y'all no lies. But guess what? Your ways just led you to death. There's a way that seemed right in a man's heart, but his ways lead to death. So you got to understand. Now, fellas, the right thing to do would practice abstinence. The right thing would be practice celibacy. Work on your health, your fitness, your wealth, and building your business until the Most High attracts the right woman in your life. You know why? Because if you're doing that, there's a woman out there who's doing the same thing you're doing, and guess what happens? Y'all will go ahead and meet each other organically. See, that's the right thing to do. That's what the Most High will have you do. Through your discipline and your obedience, he will reward you what you desire and what you need most of all. Not what you want out here, but what you need. There's a way that seems right in a man's heart. That seems right. See, y'all think the devil, y'all think Satan. Y'all think Satan is this dude with horns that's running around just out here wreaking havoc on people. No, listen, let me put it this way. Satan comes off as a nice guy. That's right. I know this is contrary to what y'all believe. Oh, the devil is cunning. The devil is crafty. Oh, Satan comes off as that guy who's going to give you some answers. Satan ain't going to judge you. He's not going to tell you you're wrong. He's going to be there to comfort you in your wrong because he wants you to sin and believe that you're not even sinning. He don't even want you to feel the conviction of sin. That's the type of society Satan has created, where people are self-centered, selfish, and they have become their own gods. That's what he loves. And he wants you to be justified in your own mind. He wants you to reason with yourself, but not right. See, this is what the devil do. This is how he operates. Oh, he's very meticulous and crafty with how he gets you involved, and he loves to feed off good intentions. Oh, y'all thought because you got good intentions in life, you're safe. Listen, there's a lot of roads paved leading to hell for people with good intentions. Oh, you want to know how that works? Let me break it down. Let's say hypothetically, you a person, everybody you meet, you look out for them, you're generous, you're caring, you're helpful. But all of a sudden you realize that everybody treats you wrong. Everybody that you treat right betrays you. Now Satan just found his way in. How does Satan find his way in? Because now he can play on the fact that you've been betrayed, you've been hurt, although your intentions were pure towards everybody you met. And guess what? He just found a way to nestle in. Now he can talk to you and say, you know what? You can't trust nobody. Everybody's an enemy. That's the devil. You know what? You tried to do the right thing, so you know what? Let's try the alternative. He won't even tell you you choosing Satan. He'll say this is the alternative. Hey, you tried to do things the right way. It didn't work, right? They gave you their ass to kiss. Now, you know what? You're going to have to do things another way. That's how Satan operates. He gives you an alternative. And then at some point you become fully possessed, fully infested, fully under his tutelage and being used by him. Let me tell y'all, we talking about personal demons, right? The first thing y'all need to understand about fighting your personal demons is you got to find outlets. You got to replace the negative habits with positive. You got to begin the process of renewing your mind. You got to make sacrifices. Prayer. You got to fast. And however that fast looks to you. You got to start to die to the flesh daily. Daily you're dying to the flesh. Because the battle is constant. Now understand some of the things you've done in the past that you feel that you overcame. If you're not dying to the flesh daily, you got to understand how patient a demon is. Oh, they got some tricks. See, malevolent forces and spirits know how to lay dormant in your life. They can disappear for a whole year, 2 years. See, they can't just inhabit you unless they prime you, unless they prep you, unless they find a way in by a series of events that take place in your life that get you thinking the wrong way. And then they make themselves appear in the most opportune moment in your lives. That's how they work. This is why this is a constant growth thing. You know why they're so patient, y'all, the demons? Because, look, they've been relegated to the invisible realm. Listen, they've been around for thousands of years. You think 1 year out of your life makes a difference? Where they can hide? You think 1 year makes a difference? No, they know how to appear. So that's why you can't think, well, I overcame this and I overcame that. I overcame this, and then you just get lackadaisical and you stop sharpening your skills and you stop renewing your mind and you stop reading the scriptures and you stop keeping yourself reminded of how to stay on the right path. No, they're just waiting. It's a war. It's a war for a reason. In war, you must train. You must keep your flesh consecrated, under subjection. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, the time you're living in, we're close to judgment. We're close. And what you must realize is that now it's time more than ever to turn it up a notch with this spiritual elevation. You know the irony? The irony of the time we in right now is that a lot of people who are selfish, they're not going to survive the judgment that's coming to this planet. They're not going to survive the judgment. And I've been saying this a lot lately, but I really want y'all to comprehend what I mean. When you look at what's going on in the world, as the time dwells, as the dollar inflates more and more, as people become more unhinged, as the letter coalition is pushing their agendas more and more and skewing the lines of sexuality and morality. If you notice, people get more selfish. When we're coming into a time where you're supposed to be about survival, more people become more and more self-centered and selfish. Like the Bible says that people will become lovers of themselves. And you would think when people see what's going on, you can see that you got America on the brink of collapse. You can see all these things taking place. You would think people would start sharing with each other. You would think people in the neighborhood would lift a helping hand towards their neighbor, or you would think you would see people come together like, yo, it's getting real out here. It's really getting real. The price of living is extraordinarily off the chain. But instead, people get more selfish. That shows you that broad leadeth to damnation, and only narrow is the straight gate. It shows you, clear as day. It's a lot of people with selfish energies. They're not gonna survive the judgment that's coming here. They really not. They're lovers of themselves. They only concerned with preserving themselves, and that's what demons love. That's what Satan loves. He's all about you, brothers and sisters. Let me say this again. Satan is all about you being true to thine self. To thine own self be true is his slogan. Satan believes that do what thou wilt is the whole of the law. Now, what does that mean? He's telling you to be true to yourself. Whatever feels good to you, whatever is your truth, you do it. Whatever gives you self-validation. You got to break that spirit. Some of y'all out there believe you're your own God. And some of you all out there believe that, you know, you don't have to choose sides because you're a good person. Well, you don't quite comprehend what being a good person is. There's a movie called The Devil's Advocate. I don't know if y'all seen it, but if you haven't seen The Devil's Advocate, definitely need to watch it. Spoiler alert, it's an older movie anyway. I'm gonna give y'all an example of something where a person who thinks they're being good or doing the right thing somehow is the right thing, but they have no scales to weigh the balances. Give you an example. You could be a person who thinks, and in this movie, you know, it was a lawyer, a hotshot lawyer out of Florida, moved to New York. He was winning every case. Every case. He was getting people who were guilty off. And he was caught up in the spirit of vanity. He was given another chance to live it all over again. And in his case, he had a breach of conscience where he wanted to do the right thing and say, you know what, I'm not going to get this pedophile off. I'm going to call it out and I'm going to do the right thing. But guess what came afterwards? The reporter saying, wow, you had a good judge of conscience, a lawyer with a good judge of character. Wow. Now, this is going to be front page news. And guess what? The man was on a road to falling back into the same sin of vanity, because vanity was his thing. He wanted the notoriety. Now, vanity can come from you doing the right thing or the wrong thing. That's what people don't understand. So you have people who live life who want to do the right thing. They are doing the right thing, but they want a pat on the back. They want their ego stroked. They want the validation from it. It's still vanity. Do you understand? It's still vanity, whether you're getting vanity from doing wrong or right. That's how tricky life can be. So when people say, I'm just going to be a good person, well, what are you trying to be a good person for? Why? Some of y'all want to be good for the validation, right? If you don't choose a side, if you don't choose Satan or the Most High, you're lukewarm. It's that simple. Everything is not just black and white. There are gray areas in life. And in order to overcome a lot of y'all sins, you gotta basically choose a side. You know, choose whether you just want to be of Satan, and so you could just go along, live your life, and accept hell at the end. Or choose the Most High. Take the Damascus Road. Keep his law, statutes, and commandments. Do what's necessary to overcome sin. Because we're not here to be caught up in living in sin and living wrong and doing things wrong and doing people wrong and thinking that you're going to get heaven. Everybody who die ain't going to heaven. If the Bible tell you straight up, plain as day, it's going to be a narrow gate. That broad is going to damnation. Hell have enlarged itself. You bet your bottom dollar most people going there. I don't give a damn what they say. I don't care what the religious folks say. Listen, it's going to take work. And we're more than capable of doing it. But you got to know, you got to realize and recognize how real the war is. Somebody says Satan loves to target the light workers and light bearers. That is true. The Bible says that the righteous fall 7 times and they rise up again. Meaning, because you may have fallen into sin, because you have made mistakes out here and you haven't been living right. Some of y'all ain't living right. Some of y'all watching corn. Some of y'all out here practicing whoredom. Some of y'all ladies got a different man in your bed every other month, every other week. Some of y'all fellas got a different woman in your bed every other month, every other day, every other week. And you ain't living right. Make no mistake about it. You're going to have to overcome that. The Bible says, shall you continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. Meaning you can't keep living the same way like a dog going back to your own vomit and expecting different results in your life. But at the same time, don't allow Satan to keep you in that place. Because if you fail, you can get back up. But you're going to have to stop the sinning. I'm not teaching you that nonsense they teach in the Christian church. Like all you got to do is repent and keep on repenting and keep on repenting and keep on repenting. Listen, the Bible says that at the end, if that's how you choose to live your life, then he's going to laugh at your calamity. He says, he's going to say, depart from me, ye workers of iniquity. I never knew thee. He says, look, if you want to keep my law, statutes, and commandments, it's not grievous unto us. That means it can be done. With every temptation, he make a way out of it. We need to be reminded of these words. Constantly, dying to the flesh, doing what it is we need to do. Don't fall for that do without will, living your truth and not forget all that. Satan loved to operate in that. That's what the devil do. He tell you the truth and he trick you with the lie. Most of these red pill content creators who talk about women all day, they tell y'all a lot of truth. But y'all don't even see the sleight of hand that they pulling on some of you brothers. Y'all don't see it. They'll tell you about how these women are wicked, how they this, how they that, and all of that. And then what is the solution but being a whoremonger? What is the solution but going out here participating in the wickedness? What's the solution? They don't never once tell you you need to get on semen retention. They don't never once tell you need to focus on your goals, your dreams, your ambitions. They don't never once tell you need to get closer to the Most High so you can lead women the right way. They don't never tell you that. They tell you the truth about most modern women, and then they don't give you no solution. The lie would be no solution, withholding the truth, how you overcome. And then there's a vicious cycle that continues. Men turning into incubus, turning these women out. Women turning into succubus, turning these men out. It's an infestation out here right now. And all they doing is making you brothers and sisters cold-hearted. Your love is waxing cold. And then Satan loved to use past experiences. Oh, he loved it. Oh, he loved it. Especially if you had good intentions. Some of y'all ladies say, yo, I went into this relationship. This is how some of y'all women think. And this is how Satan used you. I went into this relationship doing all the right things. I put my all in that. And this man did me wrong. And Satan loved that because you had good intentions. It was unfortunate. It was some things you were supposed to learn about guarding your flower. It was some lessons there. You might have missed the lessons. But all you hear Satan is telling you, look, you can't do that no more. You can't be righteous to no man no more. You just got to go out here and do what your homegirl's doing. It makes more sense. Satan a lie say those girls are winning who just out here. When they ain't winning, they getting ran through. They got a lot of lonely weekends, a lot of lonely nights. But Satan just convinced you that they winning when they're not. Now you acting just like them, getting used and abused just like them. When at least when you was in a relationship, you was in a relationship. At least the man ain't just smash and dash you. At least you was in a situation where that man was there. You might have learned a lot of valuable lessons about the man you chose. But at the same time, Satan liked to play on your good intentions. He's playing on the fact that you had good intentions. Hell is loaded with people who had good intentions because Satan loved to manipulate that. He loved to manipulate that. He know how to play on y'all's emotions. And never once do we say to ourselves in situations that we need to come back to ourselves and become whole again. When do we come to ourselves and say, Lord, renew us, renew my mind, make me whole again? Never once do we exercise discipline to get back on the level we need to get on to have a fruitful life. Instead, we like to blame, we like to feed off our negative emotions and feelings. That gotta stop. Let me see it. Somebody says, so true, the manipulation be real. My neighbors are older women and they get jealous and beat on their partners for complimenting me and speaking to me. Wow. Somebody says, I almost boiled and exploded like a tea kettle, but I didn't. Wow, you was going through it. But see, that's how it is, you know. That sounds like your neighbors, for the first person who said a comment, it sounds like your neighbors are just insecure. It's a lot of insecure brothers out there. But or insecure sisters out there, whatever the case is. I don't know the situation, but I'm telling y'all, man, the personal demons, you got to be able to overcome. See, this is what they're supposed to be discussing in the churches. How to overcome sin. How to develop as people. How to grow. I'm going to tell y'all like this. If Satan had y'all already, you wouldn't be here. The fact that you got a day to get it right, another day, another hour, another week, don't let the devil trick you and make you believe that you are wicked and you're stuck in your wickedness. Yeah, you might have done wickedness, but the fact that you're still here, you have an opportunity to turn this thing around. But you can't continue doing what you're doing. It's not healthy for our people to be living the way we live as a whole. It's not healthy. It's time that you put away people who are not good. Yeah, we got to talk about people. Got to talk about people. Bible says that evil communication corrupt good manners. Some of you all have demonic soul ties with people. And you don't realize it until those people are out of your life. And you'll notice that when you're trying to break free, when you're trying to develop, when you're trying to grow, those people will keep tempting you with the things that you're trying to abstain from. Those people got to go. You can no longer have connections with them, I know. But your eternal soul is worth getting certain people out of your life. Your eternal soul is worth it. A moment of discomfort to embrace paradise at the end. We should have 1,000 likes. Somebody said it. Somebody said, Breed is dropping Jews. We should have 1,000 likes easy. And you're right, sir. But see, the issue is some people who watching, I'm offending them. It's conviction coming. They don't really like what I'm saying. But it's okay. The same things I say to y'all, I say to myself. There's times we fall short of the glory, but you know what? We got to be better. We got to be better. A lot of y'all have been, you have been blessed to break generational curses in your family. But you're going to have to remove your own family. Some of y'all. Some of you all come from backgrounds where your forefathers were all whores and whoremongers, and they was doing everything wrong. And guess what? All the burden falls on you. A great deal of y'all watching this video right now have a humongous task at hand. And all the burden is on your shoulders. And it is not easy. Not even by any stretch of the imagination, not by a long shot. But guess what? You shouldn't have it no other way. Some of you all wonder why you may be struggling with certain things. Listen, that's an ancient spirit that is used to being in your bloodline. That's an ancient spirit that's used to being in your family. And you've been tasked with the duty of breaking that curse, breaking that spell. And you didn't come this far to only go this far. You did not come this far to only go this far. That's what I need y'all to know. But you got to consecrate your flesh. You got to understand the severity of the war you fight. You can't allow Satan to insulate you and isolate you. He wants y'all sinning in secret. He wants y'all sinning in secret. He wants y'all ladies out here sneaky linking instead of having husbands. He wants you fellas out here whoremongering instead of having wives. He wants you out here watching corn, beating the drum, releasing your seed, releasing your energy instead of procreating and creating life and bringing forth seed. That's what he wants. Satan wants to depopulate and kill us. They have waged war on us because the fallen angels are jealous of our existence. They're jealous that we're going to judge them one day. That's the part they're not telling you. We're going to judge angels one day. It's talking about the fallen angels. So their goal is to try to take you out before we take them out. The spiritual war is real. And their goal is to take you out before we take them out. If we make it to judgment, we will be in the same position Enoch was in to judge the fallen angels. They don't want that. They don't want to see your faces in the afterlife condemning them to the lake of fire. They don't want to see that. And I'm about to throw y'all a caveat here. The same demon that y'all battle with, y'all gonna be the ones judging them. Oh. You're gonna have a front row seat at the execution of the demon that kept trying to ruin your life. Of the habits and vices. You will have a front row seat. You get to see this entity and have say so on how it's judged. That sure sounds nice to me. Y'all think that words are just words. Hatred, jealousy, wrath, envy, gluttony, perversion. Everything I just said, they're actual names. Names. Do your research. And they're names of spirits that actually exist in the abyss. So you're not just like when we use these words, there's actually spirits attached to words. They're demons. And since the fall of man, these demons have decided the only way they can have recompense is to make the Most High hurt. Demons, their whole existence is to try to cause pain to the Creator. They're rebelling against God himself. And guess what? Guess what causes the most pain to the Creator? When they can hurt us. That's how much he loves you. It's his best creation. The Most High, us people walking around here, breathing air, blood pumping through our veins, is the Most High's favorite creation out of everything. And so demons say, if I can infest this person's body, if I can get them sinning against the Most High, I can send them to hell. Listen, the demons know that there's much more people in hell that's going to heaven. They know that. They think they're winning right now. But the Most High don't need a lot of people to judge them. He only need a remnant. But their goal is to hurt us, to hurt the Most High. And you know why? I'm going to tell you the source of their envy and jealousy towards us, the demons, why they mad at us. They feel like they was only given one chance. And we get chance after chance after chance after chance to get it right. They feel like, how could he be a merciful, loving God if when we fell short, when we decided to go with women and create giants and demons and fallen spirit, why he didn't give us chances? So they're jealous and they're envious that the Most High like, no, I'm gonna give these people grace. He sent his son in his image. Christ was our grace that gave us a fighting chance where we don't live under the law, meaning we don't have to shed blood every time we sin, but we don't continue in sin. And one thing about sin, is like when you're doing it, when you're living in sin, it's much more difficult to stop the more you do it. It ain't easy. You get caught up in what the Bible describes as lasciviousness. When you know you're doing wrong, you know it's opposing God, you know it affects your own conscience, but for some odd reason you continue to doing it. You don't want to be in that place. That's a bad place. And my goal is to help you get out of that. And the way you're going to have to do that is you're going to have to start replacing habits. And your prayer life got to be on point. Your prayer life got to be on point. And I'm going to tell you, once you start praying, fasting, putting yourself under subjection, renewing your mind, meaning putting positivity in here. There got to come a time where you replace the negativity with positivity. It's got to come a time where you start searching for dopamine releases from another place other than where you were getting it. If you're struggling with alcoholism, marijuana addiction, whoredom, gossiping, backbiting, if you got envy and jealousy in your heart, all these things, any sin you're battling with, corn, it can be masturbation, whatever you're battling with, start searching for the right dopamine. You might want to go to the gym. You might want to do things that are creative. What makes you happy? What brings you peace that's not self-destructive? Excuse me. Somebody said learn a new language. That's good. Somebody said go skating. You gotta find those things that bring you that dopamine, that happiness, that joy. Because you're living in a time where we forgot about those things. We forgot about the things that bring us genuine peace. Take a walk. Get some sunlight. I see everybody coming up with ideas. These things are necessary. Common sense and classy says, and people underestimate value in alone time. Yo, that's a fact. That's an utter fact. The value in alone time. See, a lot of times, like a lot of our heaviness, it comes because we don't take the time to actually to connect with the Most High and become one with ourselves. Like, listen, a lot of heaviness just comes when you constantly giving your energy out to people. And some of you all, man, when you take that time just to isolate and be solo, just for a little while, some of y'all gonna break down in tears. I can promise you that. Some of y'all gonna get emotional. And it's gonna feel like a weight being lifted. You're gonna be by yourself for a few days, a week or so. You might just start crying. Because you're gonna realize how much weight literally you was holding. How much energy you was exerting just being there for people. Just being there. See, this is a marathon. It's not a race. When we talk about spiritual war, It's a lot of different dynamics and nuances that you really got to catch on to, and you got to know yourself. You really do. And then you'll really discover a lot of things about yourself that you didn't know at first. You'll be like, you know what? I need to be able to unplug. Somebody said gardening. Yeah, that's a great thing. Doing landscaping, and man, these are things that are natural, beautiful things that you can become one with the Most High. Go to the beach, plant your feet in the sand. You know what I'm saying? Turn social media off for a minute. Like, meditate on the word. Listen to things that are positive. Like, these are the things demons hate. They can't thrive in that. Demons love filth. Clean your house up. We talking about spiritual warfare. Y'all want to know how demons work? Stop hoarding. Throw things away. Out with the old and in with the new. Do you understand that demons like being around mess and clutter and just chaos? They like chaotic environments. Do some summer cleaning. And that don't mean just your house. Some of y'all need to get in y'all phones and be like, I don't talk to this person, that person, this person, that person. Why are they still in my phone? Some of y'all need to get on social media and be like, this person, that person, why am I following this person? Why? It's energy. These phones are portals. Energy. Windows, gateways. Clean house. You can't put old wine in new bottles, man. You have got to clean house. Demons don't like being in clean environments. They don't like it. They like to be in filth and mess. Make sure you keeping your home tidy. Cleanliness is what, y'all? Next to what, y'all? Y'all know it. I know y'all mamas and aunties and them used to say it all the time. When they was telling you to get up and clean your room, what they say? They say cleanliness is next. Somebody know. I know somebody know. I see one person say godliness. 2 people. Okay, there we go. I'm making sure because I like, hey, listen, I like to build with cleanly people, man. We got to be clean. One thing about it, God's people are clean people, bro. We don't play them games. Not no nastiness. We don't like drinking out everybody's cups. None of that. I mean, that's another topic for another day, but we like cleanliness, man. Isaiah 1:16. It says, wash you, make you clean. Not away the evil. It says, put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Cease to do evil. Let's read that again. Isaiah 1:16. Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Cease to do evil. See, we have a chance to stop our evil, to stop the wickedness that we might have done or doing. You know what I'm saying? We have that opportunity. I don't know about y'all, but I'm finna take advantage of that opportunity. I'm not finna let no generational curse. I'm not finna let no demon, no temptation, no vice, no sin overtake me. I want paradise. I want the kingdom. You understand? And I won't take nothing less. And that's the mentality we gotta have, people. For real. Yeah, somebody said it. Personal hygiene on point, all that. Demons like operating in nastiness. When people walking around with bad body odor, that's a bad sign. Not saying, you at the gym or you been in the sun all day, you might get a little ripe. Not saying that. But what I'm saying is people who just constantly walk around with an odor, that's not right. That's a spirit. That's a demon. You're not supposed to be walking around not smelling right. That's a clear indicator that's a spirit present. A negative one. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Exactly. Yeah, and that's what it's about, man. And the warfare is real, man. And then here's another thing. We know we got to remove certain people out of our lives because they can corrupt you. But you also got to pay attention to the psychological program. And Satan he know how to be very subliminal. He know how to use repetition, hypnotism even. What are you listening to on the radio? What are you watching? This is important because he loved to get you on a subliminal. He liked to hit your subliminal conscious. He liked to travel up your cerebral cortex with some old out of the box, out of pocket type stuff. This is why some of y'all be having what are those thoughts when you just think something and you like, where did that thought come from? You gotta understand that that's demons. You may be walking around and be like, yo, what if I just jump off this balcony? Intrusive thoughts. Random intrusive thoughts. Where you think those come from? Seriously. You ain't supposed to just be walking around thinking, yo, what if I just like flip off this balcony? No, that's the devil. That's demons. That means something is wrong if you think like that. And I know I'm bringing this up. It may sound crazy to some of y'all, but I've literally had people tell me that they struggle with this. So what I'm trying to explain to you is it's demonic. I know that they have V2K, which is voice to skull technology. I know that the 5G and the frequencies here on this earth are on a low vibration. And I know that intrusive thoughts, they come, and most people blame it on energy weapons. It's not energy weapons. It's literally spiritual. It's demonic. And what you can attribute that to is what you've been subconsciously listening to, not necessarily what you've purposely are listening to, but the subconscious level. Like it's studies on this. If you play certain things at a low tone, then messages, subliminal messages can get out there. So that's something else you gotta look out for in this spiritual warfare, man. It's real. You gotta stay all the way on point out here. Yep, and you gotta also rebuke that distorted thinking. That's a fact. Sensible says, it doesn't sound crazy. Intrusive thoughts and rumination is the specific word of the devil. Wow. I never heard the word rumination before. That's interesting. Somebody said, focus on within, not without. Not up for discussion. Yep, well, how you gonna win if you ain't right within? Yep, social engineering is real. And in this society now, most people walking around zombies. They're not having the conversations we having right now. The things we talking about is reality. It's so real. People think it's fairy tales, and they think we over here just I don't know what they hear, but keep in mind the dark can't comprehend the light. They can't comprehend what we talking about. But they think we just talking. They just think we talking, but no. This is reality. All this other stuff you see, this is a matrix. This is a facade. Everybody putting on a front. Everybody acting a certain way. Everybody trying to fit in with everybody. Everybody trying to be the damn cool kids. You got grown ass adults trying to be the cool kid. Like, if you don't get over it, if you don't grow your ass up, like, if you don't stop and start thinking about your own mortality and thinking about salvation and think about serving the creator and get your ass out the matrix, like, I don't know what else to tell people. Like, I mean, some of y'all be super grown. Y'all be grown. Like, trying to be the cool kids and trying to keep up with everything and keep up with this and keep up with that. Like, if you don't stop it, it looks bad. It's a bad look. It's like, grow up. Shouldn't you be thinking about the longevity of your children, legacy, dynasty, your business, making something for yourself and establishing something? Like grow up. Like, it really boils my blood sometimes. Specifically when I see my people who are acting like Toys R Us kids, man children, and just big ass babies, bro, like grown babies. Like, it disturbs me. It does. Pisses me off because it shows that there's no spiritual growth. It's deeper than just, maturity on a physical level it shows that there's no real spiritual growth in people. Because naturally, a person who is maturing spiritually, naturally, the course of your actions, the course of your actions are going to be on the right hand side of things. And it's like, we're supposed to be an example for the youth. We're supposed to be an example for those who are really paying attention. You understand? And it gets mind-boggling sometimes. It's like, you got to grow up. Somebody says, we are the studiers and actors of the word. We are made to be leaders in this madness. That's a fact. Yeah, somebody said it, grown goofies. Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to be an example, a light, a beacon of light. And, it ain't all, people don't like you for that. Let's be real. Anytime you start speaking against the filth in our community and you start speaking against the ghetto culture, they make it seem like you against your own people. No, you're not against your own people. You just don't agree with ratchetness. You don't agree with disorganized BS. You just don't agree with it. That don't make you less your people. It means you care more about your people. You expect more from your people. You want more for your people. You see your people and be like, you know what, we better than that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You like, we better than that. You don't want the mediocrity. Yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. And, but like I was saying, man, the spiritual warfare is real. And these demons and devils, they just want to destroy you, man. Even if they coming out of people. And most of all, they want you to be self-destructive towards yourself. They want you to get yourself all worked up. Because that's what demons do. They just feed off energy. They want you to be all stressed out. Stress is a killer. Stress is the #1 killer out here. People don't even get that. They want you to get all worked up and feed off their negativity and their energy, and it's just not worth it, man. We gotta conquer this spiritual warfare. Man, I love each and every one of y'all. I'm so grateful that y'all came through and showed y'all support. Listen, I got this event coming up July 19th. It's in Fairmount, North Carolina. We're having a jamboree. Children are free. You're welcome to bring your children out. We're gonna have a pool set up, jump house. We're gonna be having catering. We're gonna have a DJ out there. It's a 3-day, 2-night camping trip. You can preserve your ticket right now on newbreed.love. It's definitely gonna help develop the land. All the proceeds is gonna go towards developing the land that we have. We got over 110 acres, so it's a lot of space out there, and it's gonna be good times. So if y'all interested in showing up to something like that, I would love to meet some of y'all in person. The people I haven't met in person, because there's some people I just seen Abby B and a couple other people that I have met in person. But for the people I have not met in person, show up to that environment, it's gonna be a good time. It is BYOB. Bring your own bottle. You can bring alcohol for the festivities. It's not gonna be a religious get together. We're gonna be having a workshop, and it is official that I will be having a Mongolian yurt built at the same time while we out there. So we're gonna be getting work done too. So feel free to come out. I notice a lot of male content creators don't really do events. I know a lot of the female content creators, they do the events, and I love to see it. But I think us brothers need to step our game up and really become one with our audience, and we need to come outside. And it's real important, and this is for a good cause. So, show up. And if you can't show up, you just physically are unable to make it, you can also go on newbreed.love, and we have a pay it forward, where you can click the tab and pay for somebody who can make it, and help them get there. So thank y'all. Support my Cash App. Pardon me. Support my Cash App if you like my content at New Breed Global Truth 77. It's highly appreciated. It keeps me motivated to just keep on putting out this material. And look, I want to thank each and every one of y'all. Hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, thumb it up and share it. All right, y'all have a blessed one. Shalom and peace.